Hi friends, welcome back, or welcome if you're new to my channel. I'm Maggie and this is Maggie May Crochet. In this video I'm showing you how to create the Trinity Stitch. The Trinity Stitch is a very dense stitch. It can be used to create a baby blanket or baby dishcloths or scarves, anything that you really don't want holes in. When you're working the Trinity Stitch, you can make it as wide as you like, as long as you are working in multiples of 2. So I'm going to create a chain that's 20 chains long. My work then will be 20 chains wide. Once you've created your chain, you're going to single crochet into the second chain from your hook. Remember that you never count the yarn that's on your hook. There's 1, 2, the second chain. So I'll go in, create a single crochet. And now I'm going to go right back into that same chain we just worked, yarn over and pull up a loop. I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to do the same thing into the next 2 chains so that I have 4 loops on my hook. I'll yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops. Now I chain 1 to close. I'm going to go right back into that same chain we just worked, yarn over, pull through, and then yarning over and pulling through into the next 2 chains so that I have 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pulling through all 4, yarn over for a chain to close. We're just going to continue this all the way down our chain, however long as you've made it, as long as that it is in multiples of 2. Going back into the chain I just did, going into the next 2 chains, yarning over, pulling through to get 4 loops on my hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops. I chain 1 to close in those loops. Okay? Going right back into the chain I just worked, yarning over, pulling through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the next 2 chains so that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pulling through all 4 loops, yarn over to chain 1 and close. Again, I'm going back into the chain I just worked, yarn over, pull through, into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, into the next chain, yarn over, pull through. 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, yarn over, create a chain to close. All right, going into the last one, yarn over, pulling through 4 loops. Now, we've been creating 1 chain here to close, but we aren't doing that on the last stitch of our row. The last stitch on our row, we're going to do a single crochet. Okay, now we'll do a turning chain and turn our work. Now we'll work our way back the same way we did the first row. You begin and end each row with a single crochet. Going into the first space. Now if you're not sure where you're going to put your hook on the way back, turn your work so it's facing up and look at your V's. You'll put your hook under the front and back loops of your V. Yarn over and pull through. That's our first single crochet. Now we're going to continue just the way we did with the first row by putting our hook into that same chain, pulling up, going into the second, pulling through, and going into the third. Now this third space might be a little challenging to get on your hook. Turn your work over to face you, put the hook under the front bar of your V and the second. So you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through those 4. We'll do this again by putting our hook into the work the chain we just worked. 2 and into the third. Again, this is the more challenging one, the tighter one. Ease it onto your hook, pull through, and create a chain to close. We'll put our hook into the same chain we just worked, into the next stitch, and into the next stitch. And chain 1 to close. Into the same stitch we just worked, going into the next V, yarn over, pull through, going into the next V, yarn over and pull through. We have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, yarn over for our chain to close. We'll go into this space we just worked, into the second, and the third is going to be around the corner. So turn your work up so it's facing you so you can see that V. Put your hook in under the front and back part of your V. Yarn over and pull through. Now I have 4 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4. Now remember, we're not creating a chain here. Instead, because it's the end, we're going to do a single crochet into that same space, single crochet. Now we do a chain as our turning chain. Okay, you can start to see the pretty little flower stars going across. Okay, first stitch and last stitch in the Trinity is that you create a single crochet, go back into that same space, 1, into the second, 2, and into the third V, yarn over, pull through all 4, and chain 1. Now that third V that you go into is always a little tighter than the rest, and I find that if I use my fingernail I can kind of help guide that yarn over my hook. So we'll go into the stitch we just worked, going into the next, and the next one is the more challenging one, but again it's reassuring because if it's the tighter one, that last V, then I know that my stitch count is correct. So I've got 4 loops on my hook, yarning over, pulling through those 4, and creating my chain. Going into the space we just worked, going into the next space, and then there's my tighter V that I used my finger to help guide onto the hook. 4 loops on my hook, yarning over, pulling through all 4, and chaining 1. As you're doing this, you'll be able to feel what I'm describing to you as the challenging or reassuring third V. Go into the space we just worked, into the next V, and into our reassuring V. Our stitch count is correct because that third V is a little tighter than the rest. And chain to close. We're coming up on the end, yarning over, yarning over. Our last one is around the bend here, but if you turn your work over, you'll see the V. Front and back loops of that V. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 4. And remember, we're not making a we're not making a chain here, but we are going to make a single crochet. So we're going to go right back into that same place that we did our Trinity stitch in, and we're going to make our single crochet. Chain 1, turn your work, and then we'll work our way back. We're beginning our row, so we always begin and end with a single crochet. So that's essentially all there is to this stitch. You're just going to keep repeating the same thing over and over all the way across and for as long as you like. Remember that your work can be as wide as you like, just as long as you create your chain in multiples of 2, and it can continue on as long as you want to. Remember that you're going to begin each row and end each row with a single crochet. You're going to do the Trinity stitch with a chain after each one, except for the first and last stitch of your row. Okay, so that's it. That's the Trinity stitch. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified the next time I post a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.